What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Cobb Vanth and Cad Bane 2-pack. So this was a Target exclusive 2-pack where we get Cobb Vanth without all the Boba Fett armor this time, so he just looks like his normal, like, I guess, civilian mode. And then also Cad Bane, so we decided to go with this version of Cad Bane instead of that single release version. But both of these look pretty cool together, and of course we had their showdown in the Book of Boba Fett, which this is from, so awesome to have this 2-pack. If we spin to the side, we can see both of our figures and a breakdown of how tall they are, which both are roughly 6 inches tall, and then the accessories that they come with, then a little bit of bigger picture of them there on the back, and a little bit of their story there as well if you want to read that. So pretty cool for this pack. I'm excited to get both of these characters, so let me go and get them open and out of the box, and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Cobb Vanth, who's also known as the Marshal. He's the sheriff and mayor of Freetown, that was formerly known as Mos Pelgo, and he purchased a set of Mandalorian armor from the Jawas and ended up giving it to Din Djarin for helping kill a crate dragon that kept attacking the town. And later he was trying to keep the Pike Syndicate from smuggling spice through his territory when Cad Bane arrived and they had a showdown that ended up with Cobb being shot and believed to be dead. So he looks pretty cool here. So of course we have had this figure already before. It had all the Boba Fett armor on it, so this is him without the armor and how we see him in the Book of Boba Fett. So pretty cool to have him, like I said, without all the armor, but still looks pretty good and relatively the same overall. We will see the comparison between the two, but overall looks pretty good. So we have the face there of Timothy Elephant, which looks pretty good. The faces look relatively same, like not much different to him. Just I like this one a little bit more because it doesn't seem as shiny as the other one is. There's still some shininess like under his eyes and stuff, but overall I think it looks pretty good overall there. He has the nice like handkerchief or whatever around his neck going into his shirt that's like sort of this orangish color, maybe a little tinge of pink into it or whatever it is going on here, but it's got all these nice little dots running all through and stuff, so it's buttoned over to the side here and down, and then like I said, long sleeves and everything there just running all around, so it's kind of weird with that texture all over it. Then he's got some brown pants, of course belt around his waist, so he's got a belt there that goes all the way around, and then he's got a holster belt as well, so with his holster there off to the side again in like that orangish color. He's got tan gloves there on his hands, and again those pants run down, has little containers there, and running down to his knee-high boots as well, that I like how they have them all dusty and stuff there, of course from being out in the desert. So overall I think he looks pretty good. I think the face overall is probably the biggest improvement on this, and then I like having him without all the armor as well, just so you can have the normal version of Cobb Vanth. But we'll do the movement, so his head can twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far, so not bad movements, not the best, but it's not horrible. Shoulders come up to 90 and rotate around. We get these single elbow joints there that bend just about to 90 and have the rotation in them, and the wrist will twist around and hinge up and down. Then we get the ab cruncher, I guess it's crunch and twist at the waist for him, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around there. Then we go to the hips that can come up to 90, and then out to the side that far, a thigh twist all the way around, a single knee joint down here that bends back to 90 with the rotation, and then we get the foot that'll flex back and forth and twist side to side. So overall works out pretty well, pretty like standard for the Star Wars figure, so nothing surprised there with the single knees, but for what he's got, he works out pretty well. Now accessory wise, all he comes with is the HF94 heavy blaster pistol, so his specific pistol, I like how it has the scope on there and stuff, so that looks cool. Of course we can take and stick this into the holster there, so we can just have it holstered, or we can take and put it into his hand. So let's do that like he's drawing against Cad Bane. So there he is with that pistol, so that looks pretty cool. So like I said, we'll have to get Cad Bane already. We can have it like they're doing their duel like they did in the show, so that is pretty cool. Now we do also have that other figure as I mentioned, so here we have him with all the Boba Fett armor and everything on. So I like having the Boba Fett armor and stuff, but I just like him more without all of it, so I do like having this a lot. Now this other one did of course come with all the armor, as well as having this additional rifle gun that he uses, so pretty cool to see the difference between the two. But like I said, I think for me I'd probably just want this version just so I can have the basic and without having the Boba Fett armor that we only saw him wear for a short time. So pretty cool to have this version of Cobb Vanth, especially to recreate that duel, so very cool for this figure overall. And then, of course, we also have Cad Bane, which is a Duros bounty hunter and mercenary, and by 9 ABY, he was working as an enforcer for the Pike Syndicate on Tatooine to aid in their expansion of the spice trade, and this led to a confrontation with Cobb Vanth, resulting in his death, in quotations death, and then would later confront Boba Fett, who ended up defeating Bane with a gaffy stick, and he died. So pretty cool to have Cad Bane here. Now, unfortunately, like with the show, he seemed like, especially face-wise, to be a little bit off because his face seemed a little bit fatter, so of course, when you're having a human portray this, it's hard to really get at the thinness of his face that we saw in like the Clone Wars. But overall, I still think he looks pretty good. His hands, once again, are also like really big with the fingers and stuff, but everything else about him looks relatively decent and pretty close to like the Clone Wars version we've seen, which we will have that comparison. But overall, I think he looks pretty good. I do also notice he has like a metal plate type thing there on his head, so that's kind of weird. Wonder what's going on there with that metal plate. But then we have his Duros face, so the weird blue alien head with the red eyes, so looks pretty cool there with his crazy gnarly teeth. And I love how he's got the tubes that go around to his back with the breather and stuff. I've mentioned this in the past with the cartoon versions. He wears this so in case he comes across like a Jedi and being force choked and stuff, he can still breathe. Then he's got his nice long brown trench coat, looks pretty good. Love the like silver pieces there, and that hangs down to the back there, looks pretty good. He's got the van braces on his arms, so kind of like the Mandalorian van braces, so he can shoot flames and all sorts of darts and missiles and stuff out of there, as well as his hands with the fingerless gloves. Then he's got just a brown shirt on underneath with a bunch of stuff on his chest there. Nice belt around the waist with all sorts of ammo, like a bandolier and nice wrapped around there with holsters on each side, and I love the different colors of brown and stuff going on there. And then the brown pants going down to the brown boots, and I love more like bandoliers there wrapped around the top of the boots as well. So he just overall looks pretty good. So I'm much more impressed with this figure. Like when I saw the pictures of him, I'm like, I don't like this at all, but having the in the figure form and stuff, I think it's really cool. I like this a lot. But we'll do the movements. So the head can twist around, so it's going to be hard to twist all the way around because of the tubes, but he can twist pretty far either way. And then you can look down that far and up that far. So again, not the best that way, but overall decent movements. The shoulders do come up to 90, actually over, so pretty good for that. And he does have like a butterfly joint there as well, so it does go back and forth. Then it rotates around as well. The single elbow joint that bends there to 90 with the rotation, and then the wrist will twist around and hinge up and down for this hand. Then we go to the ab crunch, so should have an ab crunch probably at the waist again. Yeah, crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. Then we get the hips that can come up to 90 and then out to the side that far. A little bit of a thigh twist up in there. But then we go down to the single knee joint that bends back to 90 and has the rotation. And then we also get a rotation at the top of the boot, so right there at the shin, and then the foot flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty good movements overall for him. A little bit better, like not as good a range like with the elbows and stuff, just about 90 if even that. But for the Star Wars figures, you know, it's about normal, so nothing to really complain about. So like I said, I'm much more happy with this than I thought I would be. Now accessory wise, of course, he does come with his hat, so I'm not exactly sure which way you put the hat on. I guess I'll just stick it on, it'll be whatever. So I think he looks a little bit funnier with that hat because it's not got the as wide a brim, which of course is funny in and of itself. But I think just with the shorter hat, it makes his face look a little bit even like more fatter. But anyways, like again, the translation to live action there, he's got that hat. So like from the side and stuff, I like he looks good. Just from the front, it looks a little bit funny. Then of course we also get his pistols. So we have his two LL30 pistols, again modified for live action and everything. So look pretty cool there. Two of the identical guns. So we of course have the holsters there on his thighs. We can put them in, you know, we can kind of set it up to do like a draw or whatever with Cobb Vanth. So you can just put those in there, but let's go and just stick these into his hands. So there he has his gun. So that is pretty cool. And then we also get some effects for him as well. So we get two blast effects. We have two effects that can stick onto the end of the gun. So let's put these in. So they just attach on the end of the guns there. And I think that looks pretty cool. I wish the effects were a little bit more like translucent because they're pretty solid, but they both look pretty good there. I really like that a lot. And then he also comes with a flame effect for his van braces, so it can be shooting out of there. So if say we want to get rid of the guns, he has these little like holes on the van braces there. It is on both of them, so you can choose either side that you want, and you can stick that on there so he can have the flame shooting out of it as well. So that is pretty cool. So very awesome for Cad Bane, just having all the different effects and stuff. Of course, that's too big and in the way there, but very cool to have those different options. So for me, I'd probably have with a gun in one hand shooting and that flamethrower shooting out of the other, because I think that'd look pretty cool. But just so we can see a comparison, here is the Clone Wars version of Cad Bane. So again, like I said, the face isn't nearly as thin as it is there, but you know, relatively similar. And outfit wise, they are pretty similar just overall. Of course, he doesn't have his little jetpack boots or whatever on this one, but that doesn't really matter. But overall, you know, looks relatively the same. And I think they did a pretty good translation. Obviously not exact, but pretty good for what it was. So awesome to have this version of Cad Bane. And like I said, for me personally, just much more interesting and a better figure than I thought it was going to be. So overall, I just really like this Cad Bane. So with that, we can have our showdown between Cobb Vanth and Cad Bane. So that is pretty cool. They're having both of those. Like I said, we can have an old like Western showdown and stuff. So pretty cool for both these figures. I like them both a lot. Like I said, this Cobb Vanth is definitely my favorite version just because I prefer him out of the armor. And then this Cad Bane is really cool as well. So both of these are really awesome figures. So this is a really cool 2-pack. So let me know what you thought of it down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank y'all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.